well, Jewish groups, even before Israel existed, hunting down Nazis. Simon Wiesenthal. I mean, now it's in the New York Times that the Bushes were Nazis, and the London Guardian that the Bushes were Nazis, and that the Nazis were brought over here en masse to run, to not be part of, to run most federal departments. I mean, that is, they wouldn't be the cabinet head. They would be the head of the bases, the head of the projects, the heads of everything. Why? It's more than just they had brains, which obviously they did. It was German physicists that developed the plans for the A-bomb that was then transferred to the United States before the war. It's more than that, the philosophy. But we didn't get the philosophy of eugenics and extermination from the Germans. They got it from England and the U.S., and we got it from them. And that's the history, but I'm already digressing. I said I'd take a bunch of calls, and I'm not doing it. I'm trying here. Tim in Washington. Tim, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, how's it going today? I appreciate all of that you're doing for everybody, and I just had a quick question for you, and I'll take it off air.
Okay.
I was wondering if you were familiar with the Aldous Huxley Aquarian conspiracy with the subterfuge of the boomers in the 60s, and I was wondering your take on that as far as its...
I am familiar, but why don't you encapsulate it for folks?
I'm just now learning about it myself. It's so much convoluted news or information on the internet that it's really hard to
Well, I mean, what do you get from it? What do you get from it?
I think it's one of the most ingenious plans ever divulged by a strategist, and it throws up huge walls as far as what people can trust, and it's pretty much created this diversion of...
Quantify it, though. Quantify it. Restate it for folks, because I heard the part about... restate your full question.
Well, do you think... I guess the question is that how much of an effect do you think it's having still today, as far as... But I mean,
you said several things I didn't make out. State it again.
What are you familiar with the Aldous Huxley's of... Aquarian conspiracy with Alan Watts, Timothy Leary, the LSD,
yes,
the British invasion, the 60s revolution of free love. Okay. Do you think that there's a way to combat that with a media campaign?
Well, look, that's what I talk about a bit in this new 21-minute audio blog that's up on Infowars.com, is how they had to destroy all the other existing orders to build their new order on top of it. And they had to break up the family, and they had to teach people to be shallow so they never formed deep relationships, and basically develop in their hierarchy of needs to being a fully developed person. It's about arrested development, a junior high mentality. It's very, very sophisticated to get into all of it, but... the best way to look at it is from a narrow spectrum, looking at one small piece of it, the feminist. And it's all declassified. It's on record. She admits it. Gloria Steinem was funded by the CIA to create Miss Magazine. They put down having children, having families, but they all themselves had children and had big families. You know, they know that's what we're designed to do and how great it is. They just don't want you to have it so you can be isolated so they, the hyenas, can rip your guts out. It's kind of like Meerkat Manor. You know, the ruling Meerkat group doesn't want your group to get together and breed and be strong and stick together. They teach you it's cool to fight with each other. They teach you it's cool to run off on each other, to snitch to the other, boss Meerkat group so your group gets destroyed. I mean, it just goes into basic tribe pack psychology. So they attack our strong tribal instincts, which are a defense mechanism against their dehumanization, because they fully want to take over human society and remake it and atomize it to where it's unrecognizable, to where the language is destroyed, where you cannot communicate with people. And we're already reaching that tipping point where much of the population literally has no original thoughts in their heads, and you can't communicate with them, and they're threatened by large words, they're threatened by ideas, and they are destroyed. But they don't count because the enemy just has armies of them. We have armies of people that can think. I'll take a thinker over 10 drones. Now, the larger, see, I said I'd take a lot of calls. This is a very complex issue. It's totally real. And it's all on record. They all wrote about it. It's all been implemented. But the feminist situation, going back to Edward Bernays, the nephew of course, Sigmund Freud, He worked for the Department of War. Before it was the Department of Defense, General Motors, Ford, PR. He's the reason you eat bacon with eggs. They couldn't really get rid of pork bellies. They had so many pork bellies because that was a part people saw as trash meat. It was only used in flavoring in stews and green beans and for lard and things. And so they had a national push that there's nothing better than bacon with eggs. Now, that overall isn't an evil thing, except it shows their power. They financed the feminist movements that the Rockefellers financed, Margaret Sanger, all the big suffrage groups. They took something that sounded reasonable, that I would support women voting, and you know, being part of the larger democratization of the Republic society, to a point, because then the government domesticates women and uses them as an army, because women generally, on average, are more conformist than men. That's why Hitler said, first you get the women, then you have the children, so follow the men. Hitler mainly targeted women. Not that women are bad. It's just the enemy psychologically saw this. And Goebbels wrote about Bernays. He admired much of his propaganda, but hated him because he was a Jew, Joseph Goebbels. But he used a lot of Bernays' systems as well. And so Bernays simply had the big cigarette makers finance all the feminist groups, gave them tons of money, paid for their bus tickets in 1920s. Before that, their train tickets, their hotels, and all they had to do was smoke cigarettes and say, show the men smoke cigarettes. Yeah, show the men. It was men that owned the tobacco companies. So it was a big joke on women, used them as a weapon to then destroy the family and to teach them it was cool to have birth control, that it was cool to have abortions, that it was fun. And now just look at society, totally wrecked, women totally dehumanized, turned into nothing but sexual objects, men arrested at age 5, just oafish, weak, blithering, cowardly, gibbering people who can't be serious or focus. Just total psychological domination, annihilation. Blacks had over 50% legitimacy in the 1940s. It's now 93%. I was wrong. I looked up the national statistics. 52% of blacks are never born, not 51. Over half blacks never make it out of the womb. Devastating victory by the globalists posing as liberals. Margaret Sanger said, we will get these weeds. We will pose as liberals. We will hire the blacks. We will pose as liberals. We will hire the head women. We will get them. We will destroy them. We will annihilate them. And they do. They murder you with pleasure. And they give the women all the different IUD systems. Half the women that took them or more got sterilized. It's an accident, you know, with the Dalcon Shield system. Oh, it's an accident that this shot you got made you sterile. It's an accident. It's just total warfare, just scientific pounding you, posing as chicken neck liberals. Oh, I'm so liberal. Oh, I'm so loving. And then the fake conservatives posing as pro-family as they vote for it all and pass it all and drive it all through. Just a giant scientific warfare assault on all of humanity, totally rampaging at full pace towards global government mass extermination. We'll be right back with your phone calls. I'm Alex Jones.
Is it really possible to get out of debt without payment plans or attorneys?
18 years ago, we developed a program that has made thousands debt-free in just 90 days. It's called Zero Debt in 90 Days, and it works for all credit card debt, medical bills, even collection lawsuits.
When I first joined, I was being sued. So I used the program methods, and after filing one piece of paper, the collection lawsuit was dismissed.
With Zero Debt in 90 days, your success is guaranteed in writing. There is no other program of its kind. Don't be alone when creditors gang up on you. Let our team of experts provide the resources to fight back and stop creditors in only 90 days, guaranteed. Prevent wage garnishments, bank levies, and stop collection calls with our proven program. Call Zero Debt in 90 days now, 800-477-9256, and ask for free information from an expert who also completed our program. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. 800-477-9256 or ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all,
that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Making the right decisions is a challenge to investors. Are we going to see economic growth, slide into a recession, or at worst, depression? Hi, Ted Anderson from Midas Resources. We all know when a company acts irresponsibly, divesting ourselves in a move towards safety is prudent. When the market becomes volatile, U.S. Treasuries are a safe haven. But what do you do when the U.S. government overextends itself and spends beyond its means? Many investors are turning toward gold as a common-sense alternative to traditional paper investments. Midas Resources has put together a powerful book titled 10 Reasons to Own Gold, discussing costs, benefits, risks, featuring full-color illustrations, weights, and measures. The book is free and can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. Paper investments are dwarfed by gold's 6,000-year history. Discover how gold may be right for you and your IRA by calling 800-686-2237. Whether buying or it's time for you to sell, the book is free. Call 800-686-2237.
What one food can help you to lose fat, build lean muscle, improve immune function, improve blood sugar and mood, support normal blood pressure, detoxify, reduce inflammation, and increase endurance? This one superfood in nature comes from unheated whey protein powder from grass-fed cows. Of all the whey protein powders on the market, there is only one that is both unheated and from grass-fed cows. It is called One World Whey. It is well known that the support of your entire body's repair from whey protein powder is superior to milk, eggs, meat, or any vegetarian protein. One World Whey can offer you a real boost in your health and well-being. If you'd like more energy or want to lose fat or gain muscle, or if you want to feel better or have more endurance for work or play, then try One World Whey. It comes in 3 delicious flavors. Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.
Obama is meant to play the part of the puppet, take the blame, be politically destroyed, and then later built back up after he's left office, just like George W. Bush is, or Bill Clinton. Yeah, he's come out and said Michael Vick deserves a second chance. The NFL player who tortured dogs to death, he didn't just fight them. He tortured them and electrocuted them and things. And... But the lady at Austin International Bergstrom, the rape victim, who said, "You're not going to grab my breast," and the woman said, "Yes, we are." Then the Austin police slammed her down to the ground, drug her by handcuffs. It was all a big celebration. She doesn't deserve a second chance giving into your rape gangs. It's all a bunch of baloney. Okay, now I said I'm going to hurry and take calls, and I'm not really doing that. It was quite a rant earlier, but when I think about these murderers, I get angry. Let's talk to Michael in California. Michael, you're on the air.
Hi, Alex. Belated Merry Christmas to you, yours, InfoWars, and GCN.
May you have a great New Year coming up, my friend.
You too. You too. May be blessed to all of us. Hey, have you seen the new John Pilger documentary, The War You Don't See? Have you seen that yet?
No, but he's the Australian, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Man, listen, I want to get him on. I really respect him, even though I don't agree with socialism. I mean, he's one of the bleeding heart liberals that allows all this to happen. But overall, his analysis of Obama, the globalist, I mean, he's a really thought-provoking guy.
It's really interesting how you have carried out your thoughts this morning. But in his new documentary, he has Cynthia McKinney on there calling Barack Obama a warmonger, and it is outstanding.